Welcome back to Vow to Heaven, where we delve into extraordinary encounters and transformative experiences that challenge our perceptions of reality. I'm Dan, your guide through these incredible narratives. Today we explore the chilling story of Michael Trent, who awoke from a 100-day coma with memories of a near-death experience that are as terrifying as they are enlightening. If you're fascinated by accounts of the afterlife and the profound impacts these experiences can have on the human spirit, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us share these profound stories with a broader audience. Michael Trent, a 34-year-old engineer, experienced a severe car accident that left him in a coma for over 3 months. During this period, Michael's consciousness embarked on a journey far darker and more mysterious than anything he had known in life. As he lay unresponsive to the world around him, Michael found himself in a realm that was starkly terrifying, a place he described as a shadow world. This realm was void of light, filled with a dense, oppressive fog that seemed to swallow all hope and warmth. The silence here was deafening, no sound of wind, water, or life. It was in this unsettling stillness that Michael encountered beings he described as shadows. These entities were neither fully human nor distinctly other. They moved around him, whispering in a chilling language he could not understand but felt deep within his soul as a current of fear. The cold and desolate landscape appeared endless, and Michael felt an overwhelming sense of dread and despair. He wandered this shadow realm, lost and alone, seeking a way out, a beacon of light, or any sign of life. Yet the more he searched, the more he felt an eerie sensation that he was being watched and judged by unseen eyes. As terrifying as this experience was, it was also transformative. Michael began to realize that this shadow world was a manifestation of his own fears and unresolved emotions. His guide in this realm, a figure cloaked in darkness, eventually revealed that the path to escape this nightmarish experience lay in confronting and understanding the fears that chained him to this place. As Michael continued to navigate the shadowy realm, he faced a series of trials that seemed designed to test his resolve and courage. Each trial brought him face to face with different aspects of his own fears: abandonment, failure, and the loss of loved ones. These fears materialized as spectral figures and daunting landscapes that he had to physically and emotionally navigate. One particular trial involved crossing a crumbling bridge over a seemingly bottomless chasm. As he crossed, the voices of the shadow beings grew louder, filling his mind with doubts and taunts. However, as he focused on his breath and his steps, the voices began to diminish, and he reached the other side, finding a semblance of peace and strength he hadn't felt since his ordeal began. The guide, cloaked in darkness, spoke more clearly to him here, explaining that each challenge was a reflection of the barriers he erected in his life. Barriers against pain, but also against true connection and love. Michael was shown that to move beyond this place of fear, he needed to embrace vulnerability and open himself to both the pain and joy of life. This revelation was profound and prompted Michael to reflect on his relationships and his often guarded emotional stance. He saw visions of moments where his fear of vulnerability had led to missed connections and loneliness, a cycle that perpetuated his deepest fears. As these realizations dawned on him, the landscape of the shadow world began to subtly change. The oppressive fog started to lift, and distant lights began to flicker, signaling the possibility of a return to a world filled with light and life. Michael understood that these lights represented hope, a hope that was always present, but often obscured by his own fears. With each step forward, fueled by his newfound understanding and resolve, Michael noticed the environment around him gradually transforming. The darkness began to recede, revealing paths that were previously hidden by the shadows. It was as if the realm itself was responding to the changes within him, becoming less intimidating and more navigable. As he progressed, Michael encountered reflections of his past, memories replayed in vivid detail. These were not just random recollections, but pivotal moments where fear had steered his decisions. With his guide's prompts, he began to reinterpret these memories, seeing opportunities for compassion and forgiveness where he had previously held resentment and guilt. One particularly impactful memory was a confrontation with his estranged father. In the shadow world, This memory replayed with a stark difference. Michael could see not only his own pain, but also the fear and regret in his father. This dual perspective shattered his long-held resentment, replacing it with empathy and a deeper understanding of their fractured relationship. Empowered by this insight, Michael felt a surge of energy. He was no longer just wandering, he was on a mission to mend his spirit and return to the living world transformed. Each step taken in forgiveness and understanding seemed to lighten the atmosphere around him, the path ahead becoming clearer and infused with a soft light. This phase of his journey culminated in a clearing where the dense fog finally lifted, revealing a serene garden bathed in gentle sunlight. Here, the guide's cloak of darkness fell away, revealing a kind, familiar face. It was Michael's grandfather, who had passed away years before, but had always been a source of wisdom and comfort in his life. The recognition brought an overwhelming sense of love and peace, marking the end of his trials in the shadow realm. In the serene garden, surrounded by the warmth of sunlight and the comforting presence of his grandfather, Michael felt a profound sense of release and healing. His grandfather, now revealed as his guide through the shadow realm, shared wisdom about the nature of fear and love. He explained that the shadows Michael encountered were not just external forces, but manifestations of his inner fears and unresolved emotions. The true battle, therefore, was within himself, to conquer these fears and open his heart to love and life's infinite possibilities. He also spoke of the interconnectedness of life and death, emphasizing that while the physical body may perish, the spirit continues its journey, evolving through experiences both on earth and beyond. This cycle was not to be feared, but embraced as a natural progression of existence, where each life experience contributes to the soul's growth and understanding. Michael's conversation with his grandfather helped him realize that healing was not merely about recovering from physical or even emotional wounds, but about a deeper reconciliation with the self and the universe. It involved embracing vulnerability, letting go of past hurts, and moving forward with a heart open to both giving and receiving love. As this profound understanding settled in his soul, Michael felt ready to return to his physical body, armed with insights that would not only aid his physical recovery, but also reshape his approach to life. He understood now that the true secret to healing was love, love for oneself, love for others, and love for the journey of life itself, with all its challenges and rewards. With a final embrace, his grandfather guided him back towards the threshold between the realms. The garden began to fade, and the sounds of the physical world slowly crept in. Michael felt a gentle pull, drawing him back to consciousness, back to the life he once knew, but he was no longer the same person who had fallen into the coma. Michael awoke in the hospital room, his senses slowly adjusting to the sterile environment, the beep of monitors, and the soft murmur of voices. Despite the physical weakness that gripped his body, he felt an inner strength and clarity that was entirely new. His memory of the shadow realm and the serene garden remained vivid, not fading like a dream, but resonating as a profound truth that had changed him at his core. As he recovered, Michael shared his experiences with his family, friends, and eventually the medical team, who were intrigued by the psychological and spiritual dimensions of his recovery. His story, rich with detailed accounts of the trials and the teachings in the shadow realm, sparked discussions about the role of psychological and spiritual factors in physical healing. Determined to make the most of his second chance at life, Michael began to apply the lessons he had learned about love, forgiveness, and the healing power of vulnerability. He reached out to estranged family members to reconcile differences, volunteered at community centers to give back, and spoke openly about his experiences, encouraging others to explore and address their inner fears. His insights gained from the near-death experience also influenced his professional life. Michael, a university professor, integrated discussions about emotional well-being and spiritual health into his curriculum, bridging the gap between academic knowledge and life's deeper truths. Years later, Michael authored a book titled Shadows to Light, A Journey Through the Realm of Healing, which became a source of inspiration for many facing their battles with fear and illness. Through public talks and seminars, he continued to advocate for a holistic approach to healing, emphasizing that true wellness encompasses the mind, body, and spirit. Michael's journey through the shadow realm, terrifying as it was, ultimately illuminated a path not just for his recovery, but for a fuller, more compassionate life. It reminded him, and those his story reached, that every moment of existence, whether in shadow or light, offers opportunities for profound healing and growth.